Welcome to the Mount Pilgrim Missionary Baptist Church Network, where we are building faith and transforming lives, where our senior pastor is the Reverend James I. Perkins.
Well, good day and welcome to Mount Pilgrim Missionary Baptist Church Straight Talk. We're going to get right into our program this morning, and I have with me a good friend and a person that I've known for quite a long time, and Caldwell County schools are blessed because of her. And I'll have with us none other than Ms Adrienne Dula, the principal of Gamewell Elementary School. Good day and welcome, Ms. Dula.
And thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. We're going to get right into Straight Talk. And first of all, what is the age group that you have or I think we talked about this earlier, kindergarten and the age group. Could you just share with us the ages to start the school, or the ages of the kindergarten and just going into the elementary school?
Yeah, we have at Gamewell Elementary, we have pre-K through 5th grade.
Yeah.
Pre-K is 3 and 4 year olds, and then kindergarten, they can start when they're 5 years old.
Okay.
The age cutoff, they have to be 5 years old before August 31st. But North Carolina law says that they actually don't have to come to school until they're 7 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, but most families send their kids when they're 5.
Yeah. Well, is there a big difference in their maturity from 5 to 6? And I know it's got to be to 7.
Yes.
Had you rather for them to wait to 6 or 7?
No, I appreciate when they send them when they're 5, and most do. I think the earlier the ages are, then the teachers are able to train them to the routine of school.
Right. Yeah. So you began training them and molding them for the 1st grade or for the elementary school, and in that way, the teachers can put their little training in there rather than them training from home and coming here. You're getting them prepared.
And a home is great. I think just for me personally, my mom started reading to us when we were really young.
Yeah.
And so having that foundation at home is great. At school, we just continue that foundation, but the routines are a little different at school than they are at home.
I'm sure.
So it's important. It's important.
And the disciplinary is a little different, because sometimes mom can get a little lenient. Well, Johnny don't want to do well. But in school now, you're in a different setting here.
So we have rules and that are consistent across, even in kindergarten.
Yeah. You got to abide by the rules. Now, the enrollment, I think we talked a little bit about that earlier. Has the enrollment different from last year going into the beginning? Well, I don't know. This year may have been a little different.
Well, we talked earlier this past year with the virus.
Yeah.
A lot of families chose the remote option for their students.
Yeah.
And the kids were online instead of actually in the building.
Yeah.
And then this year we actually have kindergarten registration in April. We start that in April.
Okay.
And so at Gamewell Elementary, we already have about 100 kinders enrolled for next year.
Yeah.
And I've noticed when I look at the birthdays that there are a few, maybe about 6 or 7, that are older. They're 6, and so I wonder if families kept them out because of the virus and just waited a year to enroll them.
Okay. With the virtual learning, with the kids this small, is it difficult for them to do the work, or is it okay, or are they moving right along like?
It was definitely a challenge. In March of 2020, schools just shut down abruptly. Yeah. And I remember that day. It was Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th.
It was our last day in school. And we got I think it was that evening when we found out that, kids would be staying home. Yeah. And my teachers really rose to the challenge. They started preparing lessons, and we used mostly the online platform Zoom for Zoom meetings.
Absolutely.
A lot of people are familiar with that now.
Yeah.
We use Google Meet, which is within the Gmail platform.
Yeah.
But they really rose to the occasion. They tried to make it as engaging as possible, and not have them physically in front of them.
You know, technology, a lot of us, particularly my age, I'm not hardly at all technological savvy. You know, it took me quite a while, and it's still taking me some time. But and I'm sure that there were some parents that had to learn technology right away in order to help their child or to help move their child. Were there any ones that may come to the school and say, well, Miss Dula or Miss such, I need some help with this. I can't this, I can't that.
Yes, definitely. We try to support our families in many ways.
Even we have a child family support team that
Yeah,
they would do
that's
home
great.
visits to, we'd stand out on the porch, but do home visits. We lent out laptops to our families that didn't have laptops. The district actually provided hotspots for families who didn't have internet service,
Yeah.
just to support them in any way we can, because it was different for everybody.
I think that was another great idea, Miss Dula, with the school buses providing the hot spots at different locations where the schools were at. And I thought that was great because it allowed the parents and the kids, if you didn't have it at home, you could travel here and bring your instrument and you could do whatever you needed to do here. I thought
we actually have one in our parking lot.
Okay.
Yeah, and
I'm
you can
thinking,
just come to the parking lot, bring your device and use it, the internet.
We had one here, and I think there was one at Mulberry, at MLK, and I'm thinking there was one at Mulberry, but I thought that was a great idea for the school to do that. And I'm sure a lot of students took advantage of that, and a lot of parents took advantage of that. I'm so glad my parenting days are over. I would not have wanted to go through this transition of going through tablets and knowing, gosh, it just terrifies me now sometimes to even think about it.
And technology changes so quickly, it changes every day. And so it's just important for us to try to keep abreast of what's going on.
He has a 4-year-old grandson, and he'll take my phone or his phone, and it's amazing what that child can do with a telephone or even his tablet. I mean, just to keep them occupied, they can find the games. And I thought, gosh, how smart, how brilliant are these children,
And I often think, like, the kids that we serve in school, like, they've never known life without Google or without the internet or without devices. We used to rely on the encyclopedia. And have to get a book and actually thumb through to find what we're looking for. And now it's instant at your fingertips. So they've never had to live life without that instantaneous information.
Isn't it amazing?
It is.
But we want to talk a little bit about the pink elephant in the room, the COVID. And I know that required some creativity, and I know it required a different protocol as you tried to lead Gamewell Elementary into addressing this and trying to keep the academics at a higher standard that the Caldwell County schools have laid out there. How did you do that, Ms. Dula, with your teachers and the students and the parents and school buses? Oh gosh.
It was just for everybody it was a challenge. And we had to support each other and work together to make it happen. Of course, with social distancing, and I just remember, like, the few weeks before school started, putting down stickers on the floor to remind kids to stay 6 feet apart, to cover up our water fountains, and use bottle filling stations. Just there was many safety precautions that we used in order to make it safe for the kids to come back to school. And then we would clean classrooms and desks and chairs multiple times a day. Our custodians, shout out to them, because they worked hard to maintain that cleanliness, and our teachers, everybody pitched in to make sure that the school was safe for the kids to come back.
That's good. And I've heard this same message all over the county at the different schools, and I think what I got out of all of it was that everything was geared to protecting the children, to making sure that our children are safe. And this is why I enjoy doing this with the teachers and the principals and all of the school personnel, to let families know and to let our listeners know, our readers know that our children are in great hands. Our children are very well protected. Our children are very well provided for, and it makes you feel really good on the inside.
And, safety is always our priority,
Yeah.
even before learning, to make sure the kids feel safe coming to school. Of course, things do happen, but we are prepared and trained to be proactive and not reactive.
That's good.
So we can make sure those measures are in place to prevent things from happening.
Mm-hmm. And I think, like I said, this is a message, and I hope that parents will listen to this and parents will appreciate the teachers and the leadership that we have in our school. So my hat's off to you guys. I don't know if I could be a teacher. I don't know.
I often used to say I didn't want to be one, but here I am. And
Somebody,
I love it.
somebody had told me, I had made the statement, I don't know, I don't know what teacher it could have been, maybe not. I said, I'm so glad I'm not a teacher. I couldn't be a teacher. They looked at me, well, I'm so glad I'm not a preacher. I couldn't be a pastor either, so. But now, and I know that there is an effort to prevent children from falling through the cracks or lagging behind. And I know that you guys have started or maybe ending or summer school. How was your summer school, or how is it going, or how did it go, or where are you at in your summer school program?
We are actually in our last week. The last day is Friday.
Yeah.
We started a little earlier than other districts. We actually started right after school ended.
Okay.
So it would maintain that continuity for kids kind of already in the routine of going to school.
Right.
And so Gamewell Elementary is actually a site, one of 30 sites in Caldwell County for elementary.
Yeah.
But it's provided for K-12 summer school.
Okay.
So, like I said, we're in the last week, and as the summer has prolonged, the attendance has dwindled a little bit.
Yeah.
But we started off with about 175 kids at the beginning, K through 5th grade.
That's great. Now, is this mandatory that they attend summer school, or is this voluntary, even for maybe the teachers?
It's voluntary.
Yeah.
Students received an invitation based on academic performance at the end of the year, and then it was completely optional up to the parents.
Yeah.
But we were thankful that a lot of parents took advantage of this opportunity.
That's good.
The teachers who are teaching it are actually from different schools.
Yeah.
Not just Gamewell Elementary teachers, but from teachers across the district who were recruited to come in and teach. And it's been very successful. The kids have a great time. Breakfast and lunch are provided every day.
Yeah.
We do bus transportation for students. Plus there's a STEM component, which is science, technology, engineering, and math. And so they do hands-on projects that kind of are integrated throughout the day for the kids.
Yeah. Now you say this is from 6th through K-12. Is that?
It's kindergarten through 12th grade.
Oh, okay.
So we're just one elementary site, but they have it at.
But you had to, I guess, arrange, or you had to facilitate, or you had to do something to keep that age group separated, right? They were not all in just one big setting.
No, like Gamewell Middle is also hosting the middle school kids, and they have Gamewell Middle and William Lenore students there.
Oh, okay.
So, and at Gamewell Elementary, we have students from Bayton, Collettsville, Happy Valley, Valmead, and West Lenore.
Oh,
and
okay. Okay. So now that the summer school has ended and your workload is just gone down and you don't have nothing else to be concerned about, your summer school is over with. Now here comes the question: what about next year?
So the workload has not reduced at all. We start planning for next year. I've already started that, preparing a master schedule. And it's still a challenge and difficult because we're still kind of in limbo and haven't received any additional information about what school will look like next year.
Right.
Like if we'll still have to wear the mask. We are wearing masks in summer school for the kids. Anytime we're around kids, the adults and kids have to wear masks. Yeah. But we have not received that information yet for August.
Okay. Well, let's hope that we don't have to go through this next year. You were talking about the directional of the schools and the way the kids, that just blows me. And I never got it right. You go into some stores and the arrows are pointing this way, and you've gone in that store 100 times before. Well, why do I have to? And then you be going down the aisle where the arrow is pointing this way, and then you be looking to see if anybody. So I can better imagine how that may look in a school setting, you know, trying to get children. They've been accustomed to going this way. Now this arrow saying, no, you got to go back this way.
You know, actually, I think they adapted better than the adults.
They usually do.
They're pretty resilient and they go with the flow, so they really did a great job of that.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's another thing, you know, all this change, and it had to be, and this is something I know that you teachers and maybe me as a pastor will never forget this. I mean, you know, it was a training curve. It was a togetherness. You know, it seemed like it brought everything and everybody together because it took all of us to overcome this. And I enjoyed it when I talked to the teachers, and all of the teachers have said that their staff and all of the people there, we just worked together to get on the other side of this. And that is what is so very important. Nobody wanted to act independent of something else. We just coming together. And I think that's a hats off to the city and to the personnel that kept us alert, the health departments and all of these. And for our schools, the school bus drivers, something that we hardly ever talk about, you know, or give them shout out. Custodians, they had amazing
especially
job.
the school nurses.
Nurses, yeah.
They really worked 150% or 200% this school year. They were amazing.
You know, it's amazing that we have those people in our schools. Now, does every school have a school nurse, or is this one that they travel?
They are split sometimes between schools. My school nurse is shared between Gamewell Elementary and Gamewell Middle.
Okay.
We actually have a child family support team, and it's our counselor is full-time at the elementary school, but then our nurse and our social worker is split between us and the middle school.
That's just amazing. You know, you don't have to worry about rushing a child to the ER or to whatever the clinic is. Most of the time, the nurse can just administer whatever they're needed right there. And it's amazing. I'm glad they didn't have that when I was in school, because I'd have probably just stayed in the nurse's office as much as I did the principal's office. But Ms. Dula, this has been a great time, and I really appreciate your professionalism before the camera and how you just handle this. And I'm hoping that when you guys are viewing this, that we will appreciate the great leadership that we have in our schools. And hats off to all of our teachers for a great job that they do, and especially to all of you at Gamewell. I hope you understand and know what you got in the leadership there. So Ms. Dula, I just want to again just say thank you so very much for your time. And I know this is a preparation time for you, and you took time out to do this. So we're not going to delay you anymore, but thank you so very much. And
Thank you so
just
much.
if you had some last closing words or something.
Just to remind kids to read every day, even while we're out. Just to do something academic every day, whether it's picking up a magazine and reading, or a graphic novel, or just something. Always keep your mind active.
Always
or doing
keep
a
your
puzzle. Yes. So there'll be no summer slide, and you'll slide right back in August. Ready for
I mean, once you blink your eye and turn around, it's
It'll
going to
be
be
time.
August right back. You say, God, where did the summer go?
Yeah.
But again, thank you so very much. And I ask that you guys will tune in to, what is it, Douglas? Mount Pilgrim, Lenore, NC. Mount Pilgrim, Lenore, NC. Every Thursday at 7 o'clock. We will be live again every Thursday at 7 o'clock. And I am really gearing toward or focusing on our teachers, and hopefully next week we'll have a teacher or a principal or somebody here, because I think that it's necessary that we look at them, and it's necessary that we promote, and it's necessary that we let our community know how grateful and how thankful we are to have people in our community that love our children. So thank you so very much. And don't forget, Thursday at 7 o'clock, Mount Pilgrim, Lenoir, NC. And have a blessed evening.
Thank you for tuning in to another exciting segment of Straight Talk, where we get straight to the questions and answers that you would like to ask some of the leading people in Caldwell County. We look forward to bringing you podcasts that make an impact in our communities. So tune in every Thursday at 7 o'clock, where we will bring you Straight Talk. We want to keep you informed on activities that are going on within our communities. Be blessed. We will see you next week.